Good evening. 5.5 years after Laura Babcock disappeared, two friends have been found guilty in her death. There's Dellen Millard and Mark Smich, a millionaire aviation heir and a high school dropout, now being sentenced to life sentences for their second time.
Today's verdict really brings us little joy. The loss of Laura is no less painful today than when it was realized 5 years ago.
Clayton Babcock, overcome with emotion as he talked about his daughter, Laura. She disappeared and never came home. Today, a jury ruled Dellen Millard and Mark Smich were the reasons why. They were convicted of first-degree murder in her death.
We've sat through a 6-week funeral for our daughter, Laura. And you all know what a wonderful woman she was, as well as all the pains and struggles that she faced. You also know about the evil beings that took her life, and if society's lucky, we will not see them again on the streets.
Babcock was last seen in July of 2012. The Crown contends Dellen Millard was the last person to see her alive, arguing that he killed Babcock to unravel a love triangle between himself, his girlfriend, and the 23-year-old Babcock. Her last cell phone activity was logged near Millard's home, her iPad later found inside. Laura's body, though, was never found. The Crown argued throughout this trial that Millard and his friend, Mark Smich, used an incinerator to burn her body several weeks after they killed her, something Smich even rapped about in a homemade video shown several times to the courtroom.
Last time I saw us outside the home, and if you go swimming, you can find a phone.
Millard, who chose to represent himself in Babcock's murder case, was silent today as the verdict was read, wearing jeans and prison-issued shoes, his legs in shackles.
We just really feel so strongly that justice was done. We're so thankful for the family support, and we just feel so badly that they had to go through this and that Laura had to suffer at the hands of these two.
And she wasn't the only one. The pair was also convicted last year in the death of Tim Bosma, an Ancaster father they shot and killed while test driving a truck Bosma was trying to sell. Millard and Smich are currently serving life sentences for the crime, something the jury was forbidden from hearing. Smich and Millard are now automatically sentenced to life in prison for Babcock's murder as well, but it's not known if the sentences will be served concurrently or back to back.
We want to thank the jury.
And though the trial is over for the men who killed Laura Babcock, her father says the grief will never end.
Like any parent that loses a child, we can only move forward with the thoughts of what might have been.
Now, sentencing hearing will take place in the new year, but Dellen Millard has another court appearance scheduled for Wednesday. Now, this one is a procedural matter related to yet another murder charge he faces, this one for the death of his own father.